Florence is a large and extremely destructive hurricane. Storm surge is going to be potentially life-threatening for some areas along the U.S. coastline, and already this morning we've seen the water picking up over some of the roadways. Let's go ahead and take a look at what could be a reasonable worst-case scenario for areas along North Carolina. All the way here from Surf City to North Topsail Beach, we could be talking about up to 6 feet of storm surge. And again, impacts have already begun today with the storm approaching. Even inland, it's not just going to be a coastal event here. Areas along rivers like the Tar River here in the Greenville and Simpson area, we could be talking about 6 to potentially 9 feet of storm surge, given how that high tide comes in with that storm. But this is just what it looks like on the map. We can show you what this could look like if you were to find yourself in this scenario. Once that water comes up to 3 feet, you can see it would be coming up my shins up towards my waist. This could be enough to knock you off your feet. It could even float some cars that could be parked on the side of the roadway. This is extremely dangerous, but once we get up into that 6-foot range, look at how high this water goes. Winds pick everything up, cars would be floating at this point. This water's over my head. I wouldn't be able to stand here, even withstand the force of the water coming in. There might even be dangers like chemicals and exposed power lines lurking in the waters. But once we get to that 9-foot range, this is an absolute life-threatening scenario. This water is through the first floor of your home into the second. You can see there's fish floating around in here. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation.
What's going on? I'm just spicing up the style a little bit, and I have something to tell you. I am in North Carolina currently, and there's a hurricane approaching apparently, and I don't feel too safe, to be honest, because they say that it's one of the biggest hurricanes in the century, or at least the one that is bigger, even bigger than the one that was in 1950s or so. And the hurricane season here happens every single year. So I just want to make this as a documentation that I have survived a hurricane. Here you can see the path that the hurricane will be probably taking. These are only simulations, but as far as I'm concerned, North Carolina is covered as a whole anyway. It only says D, which actually stands for tropical depression, and it doesn't look too bad. However, M stands for a major hurricane, and M goes all the way to the shore, to the coastline, which you can see is marked red as of a hurricane warning. I've stacked on some food. I have cereal, I have yogurt. I mean, if the electricity goes down, we're not gonna be able to use the fridge, so there's no real purpose of the yogurt then, because it may just go bad in a day. But I mean, we live in the capital of North Carolina, and that's Raleigh, and they say the electricity should come on after a couple of days at most, so that's a good sign. But these are only my predictions of what's gonna happen in the future, in the near future, because it's coming in a couple of days, and I'm gonna be making another entry to this whole video to explain what's happening, because now it's calm before the storm. Hey, what's good? So it's another day now. The hurricane's about to approach us tonight. It doesn't look all that bad now, but we'll see. We'll wait and see, and I'll update you on that. This is a live stream of a platform in the ocean. As you can see, the hurricane approached, and you can clearly see the flag, and this is how it all started. It was just a nice day in the ocean, but then, as you can see, the rain approached, the wind, and the flag got torn apart, as you can see right here, and this is how we are waiting for the hurricane to arrive here. So it's the evening now, and as you could see in the last clip where I was outside, the wind is strong, but it's not raining. Currently the rain is showering. It's not a severe downpour or anything, but luckily looks like the hurricane's gonna pass us by. We're not gonna be in the center anymore. There was a period today, midday, when the power was constantly going out for like more than 5 minutes at a time, and it's been constantly happening like every 10 minutes. So no consistency, you couldn't expect anything, but everything seems to be sorta going well now. And this is just an update on the path that the hurricane's taking. So I'm sorta around here. If I could show it with a mouse, somewhere around here. And that means that we're only getting a tropical storm, and that is just the wind. Though that is unusual to see the new forecast, which predicts that this thing's gonna be lasting for a long time. But luckily, as you can see, the worst bit here is just passing us, just slightly touching us here, but we're good. However, also there's a quick little video showing it from a perspective of South Carolina, which is now in the path of the
Hurricane Florence. Is there a chance that it could affect the coast of South Carolina? That's what we've been looking at for the last several days, especially today. South Carolina's weatherman Jim Gandy joining us now. We've got some brand new numbers here at 11 o'clock, and things are looking a bit more promising for the South Carolina coast.
Absolutely, and that's good news for us, not so good news for our neighbors to the north.
Indeed.
Let me show you what's going on. This is the hurricane, and you can see it's still quite a ways from the U.S. mainland, but it is making progress tonight. We are at the peak of hurricane season. It just so happens that today is the peak of hurricane season. Climatologically, we should see it diminishing from here on out. Our season begins on June 1st and it ends on November the 30th. So there's still some ways to go, but today, ironically, is the peak. Here is Hurricane Florence, and the latest track models indicate that it's going to continue making a slow curve to the northwest. Now, this is 3 days away. This is 9 o'clock Thursday evening, and this is what the computer models are suggesting. So this is coming into the North Carolina coast. Now, notice there's still a portion of South Carolina that's in this uncertainty area. So yes, it could still go there, and it could also stay offshore. That's one of the things too.
Obviously, this storm, the projected path has shifted a little more north. Is it always the possibility it could shift south sometime tomorrow?
Oh yes, definitely.
So apparently it has ended. I didn't record anything yesterday. That is September 15th. Today is September 16th, and it is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. However, the storms ended. It's just the gloomy weather outside. We were really lucky that the storm has just avoided us. The coast has suffered more. I've heard that at least 80% of people in Wilmington, that is a city near the coast, at least 80% of people didn't have electricity there. And there was a mother and a child killed in the accident when a tree hit their house. There aren't any good hurricanes or storms. But luckily, I survived this one, and I have a story to tell.